How to take apart and clean your Dyson cordless floor tool. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver, a Torx T8 screwdriver, which is a star shape, and lastly a coin. The coin is just to open up the end of the brush bar, just turn it slightly, it unlocks, and then you can pull the brush bar out. We're going to pull the end cap off and then just put them to one side for cleaning in a bit. Now this red strip, this just clips in, and there's 4 sections across the back where you can just prise it up with your flat-headed screwdriver. Just go along one at a time, and then by the time you get to the end one, it'll almost want to escape by itself anyway. You just pull that out, and then there's a little strip that goes across it that pulls out, and that allows you to go to get all the dust out of that in a bit when we clean it too. Now grab your T8 screwdriver, which is the star-shaped one, and we're going to undo these 2 screws first. And then there is one at the back of the floor tool in each corner, on that end, and then the other one at this end. And then across the front there's 3 screws. We're going to undo those. And then finally, in the middle there, on the clear section, there's another one. Now this one is shorter than the others. You'll see that in a second. There you go. We'll put all those to one side. Be careful not to lose them. And then this back panel will just lift off like so. And here you have all the connections for the electric motor inside. Just move all the wiring off. And then the clear part will then pull away as well. That's really the bit that we like to clean, isn't it? Now to remove this part, there's another little T8 screw. It'll be underneath the sticker on yours. This sticker's a bit wrecked anyway, but yeah, underneath the sticker there'll be another screw. And then this is going to allow you to take this stem part off. And then to remove the motor itself, you just pull that end bit slightly and just give it a little twist and pull. And then that'll just come out there. A famous part for getting dust gathered is at the end of the motor part as well. Now when you take the brush bar out, you can actually just access it that way, but yeah, I forgot all about it, so just remove that there. That needs to be just thrown away. I'm just going to get a dry toothbrush now, and we're just going to get rid of any dust and dirt on these sections. I'm not actually going to use any cleaning fluids or water at all on those parts. Just dust them off with your microfiber cloth and put them to one side. Now we're going to make a start on all the plastic parts that we've removed, and we're going to run a nice full sink of hot soapy water. Going to have a toothbrush and a paintbrush to do the cleaning with. And in the warm water, we've not got anything fancy, just a bit of washing up liquid and just a little bit of disinfectant as well to make things smell a bit nicer. Give everything a good soak. I tend to just clean each part one at a time with a toothbrush or paintbrush, and then dry them off as best as I can with a microfiber cloth. I actually clean the clear part last, that way it gets the longest soak in the water, which seems to help the dirt come off a little bit easier. Now the clear part, we obviously want it as clear as glass, but it's not going to happen. They get a bit cloudy over the years after use, but once you've got all the dirt off, and that's really the main idea, a little trick is to get a little blob of car polish, something that would normally take scratches off a car like teacup, and you just brush this around. If the cloudiness and the marks aren't too bad on yours, you could just use it with a microfiber cloth. But on this one, I'm just trying to get rid of some of the staining and obviously a little bit of the cloudiness with the car polish and the brush. Now this isn't going to perform miracles, it's just going to make things better. One little trick, when everything is done and everything is dry, perhaps tomorrow, if you spray the clear part with some silicone spray, or get one of those sponges that you polish shoes with, that's got silicone in it. And that just seems to mask the cloudiness even more. So yeah, it doesn't get rid of it, but it will make it clearer. So that's all the cleaning done now on this part. Like the other parts, we're just going to dry it now with a microfiber cloth. and everything needs to be kept now in a warm, dry place for at least 24 hours. We just want to make sure everything is bone dry before we put it back together. A reminder of the screws, here are your normal ones. You have one that's slightly smaller and that goes in the stem there, and then the smallest one that will go in the clear part. So let's start putting it back together. We're going to start with the stem and just pop that in there, and while you're holding it, put the screw back in. That's just going to hold that in place. And then the motor, that just clips in. And then we need to make sure that the wires are neatly tucked in around that screw part there. And now we're going to clip on the clear part and just make sure that there's no gaps around it anywhere. Now on the clear part, there's two little things that stick out there. They go in the little holes that's on this rubber bit here on the wire. And you just pop that on there so that's all held in position. And then you should tidy your wires up and you'll end up with something looking a little bit like this. Then we clip on the rear cover part there. Make sure it's roughly in position with the stem, but don't worry about it too much for now. We're going to do the screws up on it. There's one at each end if you remember. And now all we're really doing is going round and putting in the other screws. We're going to put these two in on the other side of the stem. Just make sure everything's swiveling properly before we do that. And then we've got the three that go along the front. And what you should be left with now is that really small screw that goes in the clear plastic part here through the middle. And then we're going to get the red part that goes along the back, and make sure that obviously the purple blade is in the red part that we took out of it. Push the end cap back onto the brush bar, and then push the brush bar in and get your coin to lock the end cap. Now there's a flat part on the end cap that obviously goes where the flat bit is on the floor tool. You'll see what I mean. And then that is it. Your floor tool is ready to use again. I hope you found this video helpful. Please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more Dyson help videos.